The Yankees and the Mets are playing baseball games against each other. So, Talkin Yanks will be playing against Shea Station in a game of do we know the players on your team how we should know the players on your team. We did this with We Got Ice. They stunk, so hopefully you guys are better.
Yes. Very bad.
I'm Jolly. This is Jerry. He's here in person. He's joining us. Not a robot. Jerry, what do you have to say for yourself?
Thanks for the invite, guys. It's great to be here in spirit and in physical form. This is me at my max. I have ascended to a higher being, and it's great to be here.
It's great to have you guys both in person. Love that. It's the best way to do it. How are Los Mets doing? Our Yankees, we've had a couple injuries. We limped into the All-Star break a little bit. I think there was like a 5-8 stretch, which, again, for what the Yankees have been doing this year is for that to be your bad stretch, it's whatever. But Mike King injury, the starting pitching's fallen off a little bit. Matt Carpenter has stepped up. So the Yankees are excited for the trade deadline to see what else comes in for help. How are our Metropolitans doing?
It's pretty simple, man. We've been reliant upon our starting pitching, even though DeGrom hasn't been there. We lost Scherzer. We lost McGill for a while. Scherzer's back. They've been carrying us, and then Edwin Diaz in the back of the bullpen has been the best in the league. But it's the story of our baseball team right now has been the sputtering offense. Outside of Pete Alonso driving in runs, it's been a struggle going into the All-Star break and a little bit coming out in this 3-game series. The first 2 games, we didn't do so well, but Pete Alonso stepped up and we scored some runs in the last game. But that's kind of the story. We're not driving in runs with runners in scoring position, which has been our good point of our offense. We just haven't been doing it lately, and we're so reliant upon the polar bear that it's become a glaring hole for us at the trade deadline.
And it's kind of also overshadowed the best starting pitching we've had all year. The Mets have the best rotation ERA in July of any team, but because they're scoring 3 or 4 runs every game, and that's like a good thing, they're not winning a lot of those games more so than they should be. So it's been kind of a struggle, and I think that like Bassett's resurgence and a couple of the other guys returning from the IL has just been kind of overlooked in general.
Okay.
Judge versus Alonso, then.
Yes.
The 2 best players in baseball.
No.
Oh.
But they're both very good.
Nice.
Okay, we wrote down some Yankees names. You wrote down some Mets names. We're going to flip one of these names. We're going to tell you how we feel about this player as visitors or as watching from afar, and then you guys are going to tell us how we should feel about this guy.
Cool.
Because sometimes we get the wrong notion just because we see him only 6 times a year. What do we got, Jake?
Jim, the first player we have drawn is Luis Giarme, a John Boy Media fan.
Yes, Luis Giarme. Now, all my thoughts about him are glove-first guy.
Handsome.
Clubhouse guy. Fun-loving guy.
Contact.
And contact hitter. I think he was playing as a starter at some point in the season. Is he still? And are we correct in everything else we said?
So you're pretty spot on in general. Giarme is really getting his first shot to play every day. He's been with the club for over 5 years now, but kind of has always been the bench guy. But he kind of fits the mold of this team of put the ball in play and good things happen and hit with runners in scoring position. For a while, he was batting like well above 300. He's come back down to earth a little bit, but he's still a pretty important piece of this lineup.
Buck has to love him.
Yeah, Buck absolutely adores him, I think. What about you, Jared?
Yeah, man, that's pretty much sums it up. He's a glove first guy that's just getting his first time regular playing, and he's been great. He kind of fits the mold of when this team's going well. They don't strike out. They put pressure on the defense. They're willing to do everything with the bat, and he's spectacular. Him and Lindor together turning double plays is awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's he hitting in the lineup?
Usually 8th.
Okay.
Down there.
Okay.
He did bat cleanup once, which is gross, but he's batting all over, but he's normally 8th.
That was a pick out of a hat lineup that Buck did.
We did.
I think it did. Did they win?
Yeah, they won that game against the Braves.
Yeah, so they won. It worked. Buck's the man.
Buck
1-0.
Nose ball.
You
All right,
guys
we got one.
Make sure you show Jerry.
No, I can see it. Just say it out loud. So we're good.
Oh, yeah, he's here. I keep forgetting
Yeah.
that he's right here. Anthony Rizzo hits a lot of bombs. Also seems like a really good clubhouse guy. Kind of seems like he loves being a Yankee. Kind of underrated, I think, a little bit comparatively when you got Judge and Stanton in that lineup as well. Jerry, you got anything?
Yeah, he's old. Is he old? Is he on the back end of his greatness, or is he still kind of in that mold?
He's definitely. I think he looks older than he is because he's been around for so long, and he lost some weight, so he kind of just looks tired all the time.
He's younger than us.
Younger than us.
He turns 33 August 8th.
Oh, he's a oiled machine. He's a young man, 33.
He's with the short porch or with streakiness. He's dropped average for slugging. I don't know if that's the Yankee Stadium. I don't know what that is, but it's a little more surprising when you look at it than you'd want it to be.
So I just thought of this writing down the names. He looks fine. He definitely hasn't been the problem at all. He had a monster April. Yeah. He crushed April, and since then he's been a 205, 319, 742 OPS, which it still feels like he's giving better at bats than that, but the results kind of haven't been there. And I think every series he does something defensively that we're almost starting to underappreciate because we've had a few years of not plus first base defense, and he still plays.
Yeah,
he still plays good defense.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how large is the difference between Luke Voigt at first and Anthony Rizzo at first?
8.
I like the
Wow.
8. Like that.
I always say that, like people don't appreciate a really good first baseman until you have one when you didn't have one before, because they make everybody on the infield better. They try harder because they know he's going to scoop and save them. I love a good defensive first baseman as a fact.
Safety blanket.
I have chosen the name Taiwan Walker.
Another friend of John Boy Media.
Yes, we had him on Talking Baseball. Good guy. I think he got mad at Jake for showing up to a Mets game in Diamondbacks jersey once.
I forgot you did
I love Big Ty. Shoe game strong. That's where I jumped to. I believe he's been being good this year. I went on a big thing. I love guys. Like, I think analytics don't necessarily love Ty Walker, but he's now pitched a lot of major league innings. Like, does it feel like he knows what he's doing out there? Is he out thinking players? Is he beating them? Like, what's it look like when Big Ty is going well? Because he is going well, right?
Jerry, you got this one?
Yeah, I got this one. He's the real deal right now. He has learned his repertoire with his experience. He's able to read swings. Like, he's in his zone right now. Because he added that splitty. Here, hold on. That's for you, Jimmy, because I know you're always holding. He added a splitty. His slider is at his best, and he's throwing 4-seamers, 2-seamers, that split changeup, and that slider. And so he's learned his repertoire, and he's so in the zone right now with his ability to read hitters mid at bat, understand what they're trying to do, that he's been able to take advantage of that. Now that he's really mastered his repertoire, he's starting to get strikeouts when he needs them. He'll try to get ground balls when he needs them. He's just at his peak, both like with experience and physically, because this is his first year, 2 years in a row being at full strength. And so he's really he's got a 2.55 ERA right now, just under a 1.1 WHIP. And he's every bit that guy. He's been, when we lost DeGrom and Scherzer, we thought that Chris Bassett was going to be the guy that stepped up, but he had like 5 or 6 starts down. Taiwan Walker was the guy that stepped up, and he's been that consistent top of the rotation, like a true number one, should have been an all-star again kind of guy.
Yep. I think you summed it up pretty well.
Perfect.
Nice. Thanks, Robot.
Next one for us, for me and RoboCop, Clay Holmes. Now, sniped from the Pirates. It seems like somebody told him to throw something, and that just fixed everything. I don't know the specifics of what exactly went into the magic that Matt Blake voodooed onto Clay Holmes, but I know that he's been incredible and that New York probably has the 2 best closers in baseball. I don't think that's a hot take, but yeah, that's what I got.
They traded for him. They said, throw that one good pitch. His sinker, which is a true sinker, Jerry, I don't know if you've seen it. It's not like a 2-seamer with run. It's a true, screwball 95 sinker. It's vicious, and I think he upped it to 80% usage when he came to the Yankees, and it's just awesome.
It's a 95 mile per hour lefty slider, just coming out of a righty's hand. It's he had one blemish this year. The fact you can measure that is insane. It was one of the weirder performances you've ever seen. It looked like he got space jammed. Everything outside of that, he's been lights out, incredible. And I will say this, when he does throw his slider, I'm almost shocked every time. It seems like he times it up perfectly, which I don't know if that's a credit to him, the catchers, Matt Blake or whoever. It's fun to watch, man. He's got his leg is the size of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake calls him Robot Horse Guy. All right, we got
Robot
5
horse.
minutes left. We got 6 names. Let's breeze through some of these,
Let's
Jake.
do it.
Pull one.
Eddie Escobar.
I'll let Jake take it.
I was teammates with him in Minnesota. No, that was Trav. I call him 5-tool light. He seems like a good human, Jer. And I just love he can do everything on a baseball field. He doesn't necessarily do it every night. And he also feels very streaky. I feel like when we did Slump Watch and Enfuego a lot on Talking Baseball, he popped up a lot. He was one way or the other. So I'm interested to see what we get for 2 nights.
Yeah, way better third base play than we've had in years.
Really?
But he's been much better from the right-hand side of the plate. Really hasn't hit right-handed pitching that well this year. Very streaky. Had a really good April where he drew a ton of walks and had great on-base numbers. He had never been a big on-base guy in his career, so I thought that was a good sign going forward. Since then, he had the cycle, like a couple really good weeks, but it's been ultimately a really tough season for Eddie. He's been bouncing around the lineup, too. You usually find him around 6 or 7 in the order. And he just hasn't come through with like that really good month since April, and we've been hoping pretty much every month that the next month would be his, but it's, getting pretty late in the season now. Yeah.
Nice. Did he still wearing that belt?
I know that he switches his cleats like mid-game all the time.
He switched his belt and then hit 3 homers in 3 games or something like that.
Yeah. That was, I think, the Rangers series.
Yeah.
He's got that big Venezuelan yellow belt, like the flag wild.
Yeah.
Good
All right,
stuff.
next one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. IKF. I know that he hits for average, and Jimmy absolutely loves his glove. Thinks that balls right at him are very easy for him. And I think that you guys believe he is the future at short.
Is his average up? I mean, he doesn't really hit for average unless it's up now.
What's it at?
What was that, Jer?
I was going to say, I felt like that was all sarcasm.
No.
Yeah.
Then why would I say it seriously?
I mean, Jolly has gone through some stuff in our office.
272 now. There you go.
That's pretty good.
Some conversations about IKF. I will kick it to Jim a little bit. I think the funniest thing we've fallen into, sometimes eye test and analytics, when they do match up, it is funny. He's a streaky contact hitter. Right now he's on a heater, which is nice.
Cool.
Defensively, left and right, he can be solid. Straight ahead, sometimes he has what feel like little league errors, and it can drive you a little nutty.
And outs above average on balls he has to come in on. He's ranked 269 out of 269 players.
And the only reason I know that is because of the arguments in this office.
He can't charge a ball for his life. But he's been better for the last 2 weeks, so I will pause.
There you go.
Okay. We're
Dos
up.
Mas?
1 minute left. Brandon Nimmo.
Ooh.
I don't like that he runs when he walks, and
You're a hater of that?
I will anything else he does will not be able to overcome how much I dislike that.
I
Such a
support
bummer.
it.
Thank
I
you.
support it. I love a
That's
center-
harsh. I'll take this one, Jolly.
Sure, go ahead.
I love Brandon Nimmo. I think you would love him in pinstripes because he is not. It's not a show hustle. It's just the way he wants to play the game of baseball since he was a little kid. I played with Adam Rosales, who was the same way, but he has really stepped up. He's defensive play. He's incredible. He made an awesome catch the other night at the wall. It was his downturn in 2020. They were looking like, hey, this guy can't play center field. He's really turned into a Gold Glove caliber outfielder, which would be wild if he won one. Good enough to move Starling Marte to right. He's always been an on-base guy, really good eye, understands the strike zone well, but he's added an element going into his free agent year this year where he's starting to drive the ball. He's picking counts, picking pitches where he's trying to actually hit gap-to-gap power. He started to show a little bit more a balance of the two, and I think he's really stepped it up. He's always been like injury prone accordingly, like that's what they say, because he's had a lot of injuries. He's been great for us this year. He's really stepped up and been at the top of the lineup doing great things.
I love hustle in center field, so I'm excited to watch him the next couple nights.
Him and Alonso feel like little leaguers playing in MLB, and they're like, if they were little leaguers, they'd be best friends, and they'd be called like Muscle and Hustle.
Did you just think of that on the spot? That was really good.
They are.
Also, I do feel like it's 1 and 2 people hate the Nimmo run and love the Nimmo run, so that was kind of perfect. Yeah. Next up, Matt Carpenter. Second coming of Jesus Christ for the Yankees. Clearly, I don't know, I think he has like 15 bombs and like 100 plate appearances. Jerry, you got any thoughts on him? I know you played against him.
Did you face him a lot, Jer?
I did. There's one where I was in St. Louis when he was with the Cardinals. He had a line drive back at my face, and it hit the corner of my hat bill so hard that it rippled my hat in slow motion. Wild. I literally had to like take a few breaths before I stepped back on the mound because I almost died.
So we
Did
don't
he apologize?
But he's a good hitter, man, and I like him. The style of play, like the no batting gloves, like Giarme too. He feels like a Yankee, man, with that mustache. He looks the part, man.
He hits like a Yankee.
He's the best. He's the best story of the season so far.
It's one of the best stretches I've ever seen a hitter have.
Wow. Adam Ottavino.
Oh,
old friend Adam Ottavino, also friend of the program. The Yankees used him as a Roogie. They would not let him face righty batters. We thought it was lefty batters. We thought it was very odd at the time because when he came over, that wasn't who he was. And they implemented it before he even failed at facing righties, and it seemed to very much mess with his mindset. And he didn't really get it, and neither did we. We thought they misused him. Witchcraft when his stuff is on.
Love him, though. Another friend.
Yeah. Adam had a rough start to the season. Buck at one point used him 3 days in a row, and he let up a huge home run against the Phillies. His confidence was low in May, but he had a terrific June where he let up 1 run and I think 12 appearances or something like that, and he has been really good in July as well. There's kind of no defined roles in this bullpen other than Edwin Diaz closes the 9th. That's been kind of it. So you've seen Ottavino in the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, even in the 5th sometimes, and Buck has really found good ways to utilize him. We thought in the offseason when we did our PPPs that he would be a Roogie type thing, but instead he's just been used in really good situations that are advantageous for him. Slider looks like he's in his prime, so he's been basically the second most trusted reliever in our bullpen. Aside
I
from
love
Diaz.
to hear that.
Yeah,
I love that. That's great.
Otto.
Last one, Aaron Judge. I don't know this one.
AAA guy.
Do you know him?
Quad A player.
36 homers.
Have you heard of him?
This year.
I've heard of him.
Guy with the gap tooth.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Fix those.
Do you like that? I kind of miss it.
Enjoy him.
There's a lot of character to that.
Enjoy your 2
No,
nights
his
watching
smile's
him.
great now.
Yeah, it's a good smile.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
And he's happier.
That's my take.
I heard he's good.
Jerry, did you ever face him in some weird interleague? Why would they bring you?
I don't know.
Judge?
Wow.
I could look that up
Well, lefty.
while we're talking. I'm not sure. I actually don't know if I faced him. If I did, I probably walked him on purpose to get to the next guy, because at that point in my career, I knew who I was. Talk about a Roogie and a Loogie. That was me. I picked my poison, and Aaron Judge is probably not my poison.
Yeah, he's on pace now again for 61, hitting 4 in the last 3 games or whatever it was. So he's having an unbelievable season.
Alonso's going to try to hit so many homers in his face.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
so
Judge
excited
fixes his teeth. Alonso fixes his hair. The Masters, they just want to be beautiful.
His hair's still not that great, though, if I'm being honest.
It's better.
Yeah, it's better.
It's
It's definitely better.
Better than me.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Go Yankees. We can all agree.
Go Mets.
And if you want to hear their thoughts after the series, make sure you tune into Shea Station. They'll let you know how they really feel about the Yankees at that point.
Wow.
Yeah, and for you Shea Station fans, these guys are pretty good at their job. If you don't know, talking Yanks, talking baseball, kind of a big deal. Go ahead and tune into that little show.
It's little.
Yeah.
It's small.
Appreciate you as always.
Love you guys.